Welcome to Doghouse Racing League's kickoff of the 2025 Auto Pro Truck Series from Daytona International Speedway. Everybody's coming off, I'm sure, this afternoon of watching the real-life NASCAR Atlanta race where Christopher Bell got the win. Well, we've had our own Speed Week here in Doghouse Racing League. It started off Tuesday night with Mike Leftwich taking the checkered flag in the Gen 4 series, followed by Gary Clune getting his first ever league win in the Next Gen Cup Series. So now we're getting ready with a postponed race from last week. At least this week we can call it the finale of the Daytona Speed Week, and we will go for 75 laps here at Daytona Speedway under the lights. Let's pull up a couple of drivers and kick this thing off with seeing how they're going to attack this race tonight.
Hey Jamie, how are you, man? Pretty good, ready to roll. As good as anybody else's if I can stay clean, stay in the draft, let her rip, see how my manners are coming off 4 at the end. That's about what you do, right? I ran a full 500 today in the next gen this morning, so this is a good other couple hundred miles in the trucks tonight, so it'll be interesting. Yeah, this is it. It'll be in our rearview mirror after tonight, I think. I'm ready for some flat short tracks. Mm-hmm. I've been out there running with all of them, trying to show them that I'm one to go with. I haven't really asked anybody, and I won't, but I hope to earn their respect just from being out there and being around them. So I put in some good time with all the guys out there. I think at some point, if I'm an advantage, they'll go with me. If I ain't, they'll leave me be. I'm gonna give it all I got, man. See what happens. Looking forward to it. You got it. No, just my buddy Andy that runs with me sometimes, and the Graybeard Racing team that we have all around the interwebs here. But I'm a lone soldier tonight and this year, and we'll see how it goes. All right, Jamie, you and Daniel have fun. See you then.
Yeah, I got you. Go ahead. Uh, I don't know. Don't know yet. Haven't seen anybody. I don't know. I kind of ride with the flow for a while. Then after that, I try to wait till about 10, 12 laps to go, then try to get the right spot. That don't happen all the time. Oh yeah, oh yeah, as long as I hope I got a teammate with me. Yep, that's the plan, or I push them, whichever. Nah, I just appreciate Shoney's for letting me do this. They throw the money up for me. I appreciate it. All right, thank you, sir.
All right, we're kicking off qualifying here. Right now, we will do it's 2 laps, a little different than you look at the NASCAR that we watch on TV on Sundays, which we know do 1 lap here at Daytona. We got 2 here. We'll see how the drivers attack this one. A lot of guys will take it and they'll run, the top all the way around and get that run off of 4, and then try to make that second lap the clean, fast one. Others are going to try for both of them. You know, if they can get up to enough speed, which sometimes you can here in the trucks on the lap one, that you're up to full speed, and then you'll come back down to the trove, will drop to the bottom, and you'll run right on around that bottom and go ahead and hopefully get your fast lap on the first one. So we can see on the screen here, we've got Stephen Buonamo running the Grant Enfinger paint. I'm a Enfinger fan, so that's pretty cool to see here. The champion number 9 tonight. Stephen's a veteran of this league, so looking to see what he can do here in trucks tonight. So we haven't yet seen you know, the pretty slow first lap here, so we'll start seeing some times come down here shortly. Right now, again, we're still watching Stephen Buonamo on the track. I'm going Kevin Powell tonight. I think he's, you know, he's pushed me to the win here before. He's always fast here and seems to be around at the end a good bit. So let's go with Kevin Powell for me tonight. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good pick there. All right, we're seeing some qualifying times come in here. Lap 1, we'll see if the lap 2 is faster for a lot of these guys, but right now we got Jonathan Jennings in first, we got Justin Combs in second, and Brian Kramer in third. Some of these guys are new to the Doghouse League. They're just here for the Truck Series, and we're good to see how good they're going to do here in the here in Doghouse Racing League. Tell you what, I'm kind of looking to see what Mike Leftwich's lap is here when it comes down to it. He seems to love being on the front row here at some of these at these super speedways. So let's see. Look at that. Yeah, he knows he's got something that he knows at these tracks that seems to get him that little extra edge to put him on that front row. So yep, definitely not unexpected there. So we'll see if anybody can top him on their lap 2. So we see Dumont pull off the track and with 17th on the board. Like Stephen Buonamo, watched him for a lap or 2 there, and he was wound up 13th as of now. You know, we've got right now 3 Team Shoney's drivers in the top 5 with Mike Leftwich, Christopher Simon, and Jonathan Jennings. Yeah, we're new here at Doghouse Racing TV. We're just a couple of drivers here calling some races. We've also got the Thursday night Cup Series as well. It's going to be broadcast on Doghouse Racing TV. So yeah, go ahead, please please subscribe and check us out and interact with us. We'll try to be watching the chat tonight and answer some of your questions. All right, we're going to pause here real quick. Just take a quick pause as the drivers are going through their pre-race spiel.
While we're waiting on that, if you're watching in the chat, let us know if we sound okay. Like Daniel said, this is our first race. We're working the kinks out, so let us know how it looks, how it sounds. That way we know what we need to improve on, good or bad. While we're waiting on that, if you're watching in the chat, let us know if we sound okay. I went to break for a second on the screen. That was all coming across. While we wait on the driver's grid, we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back. All right. So, yeah, we can.
In the 11th spot, we got Kevin Powell, followed by Jason Ross. We got Jeffrey Engel and Carson Burrow in 14. We got Chris Leftwich in number 15. In the 15th spot, followed by Steven Guanamo in 16th. Jared Waller, Paul Buchanan, Mazel Flores, and Mark Dumont round out the top 20. Yep, 25 drivers on this track. This may be a fun one tonight. So it's a pretty good showing here in the truck series. Definitely looking forward to this. To round out Daytona week in the Doghouse Racing League. All right, we're green. As we head off into turn number 1. Yes. We are already a caution. Yeah, trying to find out what happened here. Looks like we had the 13 and 14 get together. Looks like we may have got a, let's see what number truck that is. They don't, looks like the number 66, 166. Yeah, the positive thing on this is going to be that we do have a fast repair. Yeah, it looks like that may have started in front of everybody there. So, well, again, looks like the problem there was Kevin Powell's VR blacked out on him, so that caused that caution. So that's one of the unfortunate things in sim racing is the fact that sometimes just the slightest glitch can cause a wreck. Other times it can get you kicked off the server when you're in the lead. So a lot of things can happen here that is not necessarily in the real life world, but I guess we can kind of look at it as mechanical failure or blown tire, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's when you're working with electronics. I mean, you never know, something's liable to fail. Looks like about half the field's going to come in and pit, trying to make this a one-stop race later on, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's not a bad idea. You never know how many caution flags we're going to get here. And a lot of times, the less fuel you have to take under green, the better. And even under future caution, the less fuel you have to take at that point get you out ahead of, if you take a half a second less of fuel, that may get you 2-3 spots on the track. You just never know, so probably not a bad choice.
Yeah, and this probably be a good time for us to pull up our race analysis and see. So race laps is 75 laps. Pit window is going to be 30 to 35. So with a little bit of saving, this should get them to the about the halfway point and be able to make this a one-stop race.
That sounds good. Because tires is not going to be a thing here tonight, I do not believe. Maybe take them once, but that'll be about it, if that.
And one thing to point out, something new this season, we're doing stages. So we're going to have stage end at lap 19 and 38. There will not be any caution thrown, but they will be fighting for their stage points for those laps.
Yeah, so, this is definitely not the way these guys wanted to start it. Kind of want to go ahead and get in the flow of things because this pacing under green, it takes a long time to get around this track. There's two things I don't like doing at Daytona or Talladega. That's driving pace laps or being damaged by yourself on the track to where there's nobody to run with. Either of those, it's a long ways around.
Yes, it is. All right, so we're going to reset the field for the restart. So we're going to have Carson Burrows leading them to the green with Mike Leftwich in second. Third is going to be Justin McMahon. Fourth, Mr. Flores. Fifth is going to be Adam Weichel. Sixth, Steve Gerber. Seventh will be Bill Gentry. Eighth will be Christopher Simon. Jonathan Jennings in ninth. And Jonathan Smith rounding out your top 10.
So let's see if we can get a clean start here. Get these guys bunched up a little bit. Again, there's a couple of these guys now doesn't have that fast repair to fall back on. So, they're going to be trying to stay with the field, race what they can, but try to be not as aggressive as they would have been when you have that fast repair to fall back on in this series.
And going back and looking, Jeffrey Engel took a fast repair, Kevin Brown, Chris Leftwich, and everybody else still has that one fast repair as we go back green.
All right, so we got Carson Burrows going to lead them off here into turn number 1. Looks like they've single filed out a little bit for the first 4 at least, and then they're side by side after that. The 24 gonna give a little bump to the 1 here to try to keep them out in front of this group. Got it 3 wide a little bit further in the back, so you know, again, I'm seeing a little aggression there that kind of early for that, but we'll see how it works out.
Yeah, and your leader,
Yep,
Carson.
there it is. Yep, the number 3 caution. The number 3 just got into the side of the 23 and has caused a wreck. Several trucks wrecked. It was a pretty aggressive move from what I'm seeing here for this early in the race there.
See if we can go to our cockpit and see what happened. So we're going to go 3 wide coming out of turn 2. Clean there. All right, the 3 just going to take it 3 wide all the way up.
Yeah, he was going to try to. It was okay till it wasn't. When he gets the run here, kind of bumps a little bit, then he tries to go low. Maybe a slight bit of net code there, but still, that's pretty aggressive for this early in the race.
And it caught up several good trucks. Hopefully they'll be able to get some repairs done and come back out. Probably going to see some more of those fast repairs being used, as Chad Waller's got the meatball flag, so he's going to have to get mandatory repairs.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a few more drop down on pit road here and top off with fuel. Again, this is, you know, we'll see if these guys decide this is how we're going to race. You know, that can sometimes be the bad thing about having these fast repairs in your pocket. People do things that they would not normally do. But then sometimes we see that happens anyway when you have no fast repairs. So, yeah, like I said, it's a long race. I hope these guys will just settle down a little bit. And, let's get into a rhythm here and run, you know, click some laps off. I think you got the veterans here of the league that's going to do that. This is a few of these guys' first race.
Yeah, and the one thing this does, Daniel, is this should put them in that window where they can pit around lap 40, 45 and make it to the end from there. So this will help those guys out with that strategy.
Yep, for sure. So, yeah, you know, we got Adam Weichel out front here. It looks like, you know, he's not going to pit. Some of these guys did pit, others didn't. He's chosen, I guess, not to top off on fuel here. So, you know, who knows what the right move is here. I mean, I think if I was out front, I may agree with that decision. It may be the safest place to be at this point.
Yeah, I always like trying to ride around in the back and wait until, you know, we get towards the end of the race to see what all is going to happen, try to avoid the wrecks, but then you risk losing the drive, so it's kind of one of those, what do you do?
Yeah, and then he comes in and pits, right? So must have decided let's top off at the last minute. The question there is, if he didn't come through the first time, I don't think he did. Or is this the first time the pits are open is the question, I guess.
No, he actually got black flagged because he did pit, did not come through the first time, so he received the black flag for coming in when the pits were closed. Reset the field and get ready to go green again.
Yep, so he got that black flag. Undoubtedly did not realize that rule there, but hey, sometimes you have to learn, and unfortunately, that's the way it goes. But I'm guessing he at least got credited with a lap lead. So now that brings Simon up to the lead, I believe.
It's actually going to be Mr. Flores. I'm sorry, I can't say the first name.
Okay.
Christopher Simon switched to the 21 this season, so he's actually going to be in the Shoney's 21 truck.
That's right. I'm used to him in the 27. So, yep, that's something I got to learn. So, yeah, so Flores on the inside with Steve Gerber on his outside. See if the 14 or the 95 gets the best push as we go off into turn number 1. Got down a little apron a little bit. Flores did. That will get you a little swerve there. It's not a good feeling for sure. If you hit it just right, it will send you around at times. But looks like right now that top line is getting a push, and it looks like, let's see if it's going to be enough to get the 8 to the bottom. Yep, looks like he will go to the bottom.
Yeah, and Steve Gerber is really good at these plate tracks and controlling the line, so I think he'll be a factor to watch out for throughout this race.
Yeah, looks like the 14 is giving some good pushes to the 27 there. So, oh, that was close. Yeah, that was 14. He hit that apron, and I thought he was going to lose it there for a second, but he kept it under control somehow. I'm sure that scared him a little bit.
It's going to actually be the 93 Kevin Powell.
Yeah, looks like he's spinning. I wonder if he lost.
Yeah, he received a black flag on the restart. I don't know if he's having his connection issue or what, but he did tow to the pits.
Yep. Got another wreck right there.
A big wreck. It's
Yeah,
like somebody about half the
wreck.
field.
Yeah, that would be what we call the big one here, I guess. Let's see here. I'm listening to the driver's chatter, but I'm not going to draw any conclusions till I have a chance to watch it out. You know, just watch it back here a little bit. But
Let's see.
yeah, the 14 has just been, he's been swerving. He got it to the 95, and it sent the 95, nothing the 95 could do. And from there, it was, well, I guess you could say all hell broke loose right there. So, again, this is, some, 14s is definitely having handling issues in the air here, here tonight.
Yeah, going in turn 3. Looked like he's not able to keep his truck down on the line. He's kind of swerving a little bit and gets loose there, and he spins. Trying to see if I can find for us what caused everything in the further back after that.
Yeah, he had been, hitting the apron and coming back up for several laps, so I'm not sure exactly what was going on there. And then, yeah, I agree. The question is what happened after that. There it is, right there. Can't tell if that was
It looked like
related.
the 9 of Stephen Bonomo got into the back of the 23. just starting an accordion from there.
Yeah, or Jonathan Smith. Oh, we had a nice wreck on the pit wall there, but Jonathan Smith, he has been a victim tonight. He has, both times he's gotten wrecks, neither was his doing.
And you hate to see that.
Yeah, you do. I mean, you know, it's yeah, these guys here, you know, someone put a lot of time in and you know, to practicing this stuff, and then you look forward to this. We've been looking forward to this for, you know, pretty much almost 2 weeks now, this race, and then come out here and then you caught up in two wrecks in the first 11 or 12 laps. That's no fun.
It's like your Shoney's teammates, Mike Leftwich and Jonathan Jennings, is gonna control the lead once this goes back green. See, Mark Dermott's going to be in third, Steve Gerber in fourth, and Jason Ross in fifth. So, still got some good trucks left.
Yeah, I'm thinking Dumont should be taking the responsibility. Yep, he looks like Dumont will take responsibility for that wreck, so he will be given the EOL.
Let's see. I'm looking at the scoring, and it looks like about half the drivers at this point have had to take their fast repair. So, not what you want to do this early on into the race. Kevin Powell is going to be currently the only driver that is out of the race due to connection issues. Mike Leftwich is going to try the fake out to get somebody to go down the pit road. Didn't look like anybody followed, and we're going to be getting the 1 to green, I believe, this time.
We just had upload packet loss for Chris Simon. That's never good.
No, and you know, I hate it for him. He's been improving so much the last couple of months, and it seems like he's had several issues with internet or his computer, so hoping he's going to be able to get that figured out so he can get going and getting this points going good.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely was one of the favorites to win the points when this started. You know, this has been happening a lot lately to people that were already having, you know, we're never having, I guess, these issues before. You know, it seems like they're just becoming more and more, especially after the download, the update, I guess, on usually Tuesdays of a particular week. It seems like we see these, but who knows? We'll see if they can. Things will smooth back out here soon, but it's tough to see these drivers put in such a lot of work on a season and then got to use a drop race from the very first one.
Yeah, and you know, 16 race season. Hopefully, they'll be able to overcome this. This is one of those wild card ones. You got to be good at super speedways, but you also need luck on your side.
Yeah, for sure.
So
For sure, I agree.
Going to be coming back to the green this time, Daniel.
Right. Well, let's see what we can do. I mean, we've been at this for a little while now, almost 30 minutes, coming on 30 minutes, and we've about to complete our 14th lap. So, it looks like Mike Leftwich got a nice jump here, but I don't know if that's, sometimes that isn't quite what you want here, but we'll see if what Jason Ross is going to do here. Back bumper. We got a good run coming from the 8 and the 25 on the top. Let's see if Mike pulls up. Nope, looks like he's going to keep that bottom lane going there. As we see Jonathan Jennings. go into the lead. And he's going to drop to the bottom in front of his teammate, Mike Leftwich.
Yeah, I look for these
Now
two to hook up and be able to control these lines pretty good.
Yeah, I do too. You see one of their other teammates, Chris Leftwich, is going to be pushing the 8 on top. So I know he's going to be ready to get up there with his teammates. So I know Chris is pretty good at these tracks as well. Kevin Brown, Justin McMahon, the Loud Pedal Racing teammates here on the top as they start the bumper of the 13.
Seeing a lap truck coming up ahead. Be interesting to see how we can navigate through this.
Yeah, that can, Talladega, not quite as bad. Track's wider. This track, a little bit narrower, still plenty of room. See what happens here. Looks like the guys keep holding his line at the top pretty good. That's that's Chris Simon. He knows really what to do in these situations, so I think we're pretty safe here. Oh, good to see he's back on the track.
Absolutely.
All right, we got the 8 with the 13 pushing. Good push here as the 8 looks out to go out in front. All right, how far out front can he get? Looks like they're gonna stay pretty side by side here. We start headed. Looks like that bottom lane is really strong through the Troval, but then as we head into turn 1 and down the back stretch, and as we enter turn 3, that top lane seems to get a good run off. But then again, it's just going to be, we'll see which lane can gain a little dominance as we go through the night.
Yeah, one thing I'm noticing really with both lanes is your two on the top and the bottom are staying close together, but the top lane and the bottom lane's got a lot of separation, and now that top lane's starting to kind of get back together, I think they'll get a good run coming off the corner here and going down the front stretch.
Yeah, looks like we're pretty 2x2 back through the field right now. Things are pretty tame right now, so let's see if it can stay that way.
Yeah, I think a lot of the veterans of the league have cycled to the front at this point, and they're just, kind of riding right now. Lone race, still a lot of laps to go, just trying to, put some laps down and not be too aggressive for the time being.
Yeah, hopefully that we'll just get, I'd like to see the action for sure. I mean, it makes for a better broadcast. But at some point, you're kind of glad to see them just taking a little easier at this point. And let's see if we can make it for a few laps here. And then we'll, if we can't, if we don't see the end, we don't have a chance to win it. So let's see if we can get to the end here.
The top lane's getting a good run. Get Steve Gerber to the point for now. It's going to kind of stall out going into 3. Going to allow Jennings and Mike Leftwich to get them a run coming off. And get Jennings back in the lead. Go inside. Go ahead.
We got a pretty big issue there. The number 3 just blinked out, and I think when he came back on the track, it caused the problem. I believe that was all a glitch that caused that entire issue. Well, maybe not. Let's see. If you look, the 3 hits the wall, glitches out. You can see at some point he's gone. Yeah, I think we had the 3 reappeared inside the 56. Again, seeing just lots of connection issues here tonight that is starting to take toll on the field here.
Yeah, and looks like Justin McMahon got a little bit of that one. Gary Clune as well. And at this point, pretty much the whole field come in and pit that time. So your top 5 is going to pretty much be unchanged. You're going to have Steve Gerber that was able to come out in first, Jonathan Jennings second, Christopher Leftwich third, fourth would be Mike Leftwich, and fifth would be Kevin Brown.
Yeah, I tell you, this, that number 3 just, he dropped due to packet loss, again, so we're seeing a lot of connection issues, so I hate it for these guys tonight. That's undoubtedly something. I mean, there is some driving aspects to the first couple of cautions, but we've seen several drivers with some issues just from connection, so it makes you wonder just how much blinking they got going on, and throughout while they're racing. I mean, sometimes what you see on the track.
I got you, man. Yep, no problem.
Well, while we're under caution, what do you say we take a minute and pull up one of our drivers, Steve Gerber, that is currently sitting in the 5th position, looks like now.
Oh, sounds good.
Steve, this is Jamie and Daniel in the booth. You got us?
I got you.
So it looks like it's a little bit of aggressive driving going out there, and then some internet connection issues. How's your race going?
It's been pretty smooth. It's been weird. I don't know why we've had so many wrecks early on. I thought this was going to be better than this, but sometimes it just is what it is. So you just got to roll with it. And I'm just kind of getting shaken up in the pit stops. I thought guys were coming and they just messed with me, because that's kind of where I'm at right now in this league.
So, do you still have your fast repair left, Steve? I see a lot of
Yeah.
drivers already used them.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had no damage at all. I've been up front most of the time, so I've been in good shape. But yeah, it's just, I don't know what's going on. It's kind of just hard to get into a rhythm. I thought we were going to get into a nice rhythm there in that run, and then something happened. So
Yeah, it looks like another more packet loss guy, glitched out. The 3 glitched out, wound up in somebody's lap, basically. So it was,
yeah,
I tell you, seeing a lot of that this race.
weird.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's super weird. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it shakes out. I don't think I really dropped back too far, so I'll just try to run smooth and try to find somebody to run with here. I don't have a lot of drafting partners here, so.
Yeah, I think you're showing you're fast enough. Somebody will go with you, I believe.
Yeah,
So,
I'll see. I don't mind pushing somebody either. I mean, I don't mind as long as they don't leave me. I'm okay with it. So, but
yeah, sounds good. We'll let you get back to it, man. We don't want to mess up too much of your race here, but we appreciate you jumping in with us and give some little bit of look into your driving tonight.
yep, anytime, man. Thanks. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, what's up? Yeah, I think so. Yes, I was. Thank you.
So, again, we're hoping that kind of goes away here shortly. If it don't, we're gonna have, we could definitely. I see this as, more of that could be coming here. So, again, let's see as we get ready to go for the restart. We'll quick, while we're approaching the restart, I want to get a shout out to Auto Pros, which is our series sponsor here. Is your full service auto center in Roxborough, North Carolina. They specialize in foreign and domestic transmission repair, but can also handle all of your everyday auto needs. ASC certified technicians are standing by to help you in your time of need. So call Auto Pros if you're in the North Carolina at 336-322-3230. That's 336-322-3230. And let them help you out on any of your auto problems that you may be, or just your normal service center. All right, so I guess we're getting ready to go back to green here as the pace car pulls off the track.
Re-rack it and try it again.
Ending lap 24. One more lap and we will be 1/3 of this race. Got the top three. Shoney's drivers, 3 of them, really controlling this restart here. Then we go back and then we've got the 95 in the 4th position. Tell you what, the 95 seems pretty strong tonight.
Yeah, and he's gonna be left by the 13 and Chris Leftwich. Got him up there to the front, and Leftwich dropped down and get with his teammates. Look like the 95 is gonna have a good push coming off of 4.
He's got the number 1. Give him a good push, see if he can get him up there side by side with Chris Leftwich.
Justin McMahon's been able to rebound, and he's going to be up there in the 7th position on that high line. Him and Stephen Bonomo are going to try to line up with his front 2 on that outside line and move that lane forward.
Yeah, for sure. We got the Group 6 sponsor, 24, who is our series sponsor of the Next Gen series here at Doghouse Racing League. We got the Stephen Bonomo behind him, followed by Adam Gardner and Kevin Brown, Eric Anderson, and the good-looking Richard Petty scheme, number 43.
We said we take a lap and ride on board with the 24 adjustment man and see what he sees.
Let's see. Some people think, oh, we're just riding in line here, but there is a lot of throttle control here to checkups and everything within this outside line.
Yeah, it's not as easy as it looks on TV. The Shoney driver's been able to push out to a nice lead at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's going to take, the number 95 seems like he's doing a pretty good job here, but I do believe also that Steve Gerber, if he can get in that outside lane, if he chooses to, I think he's pretty dang good. Here he goes. I don't think he had much of a choice there with the 60, kind of got down on the apron there, so now he's going to take it, and let's see with him. I think Steve can probably lead this line up there, but let's see if he can get some energy going here.
And you got the 66 of Shane Parrish in that 4th position. We know he's a fast driver. He's probably going to ride around, log some laps, try to be, calm for the next 30 laps, and then probably make his move at the very end. I would expect.
Yeah, for sure. We got Justin McMahon deciding, okay, him and Stephen Bonomo says, okay, we've had enough of this. We are going through the middle, and it seems to be working. Let's see if Stephen can get clear. Ooh. Oh, he's a little too clear. Wasn't clear, I guess you could say. He caught the 95. 95's into the wall, unfortunately. But he looks like he's able to get off the wall. Hopefully he's not too bad of damage there.
It just don't seem like so far anybody's been able to get on that outside lane and really make it work.
Yeah, I agree. It's just not, you're not really seeing that. It's going to take a couple of guys just getting hooked. You know, Justin can be an aggressive pusher, so we'll see if the 9 can stay close enough to Justin to where he can stay hooked to the 44. Looks like, yeah, Paul Buchanan and Justin is starting to make a little headway.
Yeah, if they can just all stay grouped up, and you know, it's going to probably take a lap or two, but usually the outside lane can prevail at these tracks if you can get everybody lined up. And what you see a lot of times is that lead car on the outside will dive down to the bottom, and you know, it kind of just kills the run on the outside, and they got to regroup every time. So if they would get together and stay up there, I think they could make some good ground.
Yeah, I agree. As we go through the tri-oval here, see how aggressive Justin's going to get on the back bumper through the tri-oval. Looks like he's keeping a little bit of distance as we in the turns, but then he's really getting right back on him when it gets a little straight. So I think he's going to do the same thing here, coming off of 3.
I got a little loose when he did that push.
Yeah, it was yeah, not quite off the corner there. It was both still in turn 2, and it's makes it really difficult to do that at times. It can be done, but it can also be a little worrisome there when you got somebody pushing you in the corner.
Yeah, and watching out of that corner, it looks like he's getting really loose coming out of the corners. Something we don't see too often here at Daytona.
No, these trucks are just a handful in the draft, you know, compared to some of these other cars. You know, Xfinity's probably, to me, one of the best cars that drives in the draft. That's just my opinion. Then probably the Gen 4, but these trucks can absolutely be a handful at times. It's as that air gets moving, especially when you start getting, especially if it's, you know, get the side drafts going and everything, and the air really moving across your spoiler, it can cause some issues.
Yeah, I did some practice earlier today with some of the guys in here, and side draft, you especially coming out of 4, you can make that truck pretty much turn around, just completely lose control. You side drafted them, so we haven't seen too much side drafting yet tonight, but that's something to look forward to later in this race as the laps wind down.
Yeah, definitely.
And then overheating, something that you got to worry with. That you can push about 2 laps in these trucks, and then you're going to get hot. And that's why you keep seeing Justin pull out to the high side a little bit to get some air on the nose of that truck to cool it down.
Yeah, really smart move. Yeah, you get in that red too many times, at some point, it's going to give up. You're either going to start losing horsepower very rapidly, or it's just going to puff of smoke, done.
And we're about 3 laps away from the end of stage 2, so I expect you're going to see the aggression level to start picking up a little bit from some of these that want to pick up those stage points.
Yeah, but I think you're right.
So the stage point format is going to be the same as NASCAR. So it's, if you get first, you get 10 points, and then 10th will be 1 point. So it goes in order from there. So it's I learned last season that you can win a good bit of the races, but them stage points matter a lot. You can win them all, but without stage points, it about doesn't help you any.
Yeah, and plus it's good to have in your pocket if something goes wrong on that, those last few laps at a super speedway. If you've, banked 15 or 20 stage points and something happens, you're going for the win and you get wrecked, something happens, and then you wind up, back, 15, 20 spots behind where you should have. It's nice to know that you have something to help fall back on. So they can, they're definitely very important, and they can also be a little security, especially at a track like this.
Yeah, and as we look, Paul Buchanan dropped down to that bottom side after McMahon got him up there, and looks like McMahon and Bonomo gonna be able to get a good run here and maybe get him back to the lead.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're gonna see the 9 and the 24 definitely get pretty aggressive here. Tell you, but again, Justin is a very aggressive pusher, and he knows what he's doing. So you can see now the Jonathan Jennings, he knows that. He knows who Justin is. He's raced with him. So he says, okay, let me get some of that, and let me let you push me for a while. So that's the only thing. When Justin gets out front, he's one that knows how to push. He needs somebody who knows how to push as well. I'm not saying Steven doesn't, but Justin's just probably one of the best in the league at it. And you can see that right now as Jonathan goes out into the lead.
Yeah, and I was looking at stats earlier. Jonathan's won, I believe, 106 or so races between all the series in the league, but in the trucks, this is one track he hasn't won at, and he would like to seal the deal on that tonight and get his first super speedway win here in the trucks.
Yeah, Jonathan, he'd be the first to tell you that he is not, I don't think he's the biggest fan of super speedways. He hasn't had much luck, but we got a wreck here, back in the field. I think looks like we got a caution now that came out the last minute. Yeah, we got a pretty, and then we had further wrecking as we got up through the field. So that turned out to be big, but then it got bigger.
See if we can see what happened. It looked like it involved Justin Coons.
Yeah, I think I had Jason Ross. Something happened to Jason. I don't know what it was. I don't know if he got a bad bump.
Caused a big checkup.
Yeah, I think looks like almost he hit the wall. Okay, he hit the wall.
Paul Buchanan looks like he got some damage out of that. Or is that truck just already damaged? No, I think it'd be hard to find the truck out here right now without some damage somewhere after the way tonight's went.
Yeah, I guess what I'm kind of wondering is what happened further up, because it looks like Buchanan got into the 9, which was a totally separate accident after the original wreck. So, so we had 2 wrecks basically that time. We had the original one in the back with Ross, and then looks like I said, I'm not really sure. It looks like Steven Wanabo, the 9, is going to take the EOL on that.
Let's see. So 44 is on the bottom. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Daniel. To me, it looked like it was just tight racing there in the corner and kind of possibly a little bit of net code. They just kind of come together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it was just that. I mean, like I said, I think it was two separate wrecks that happened that time. So that's unfortunate. You know, we was making some headway there, and now, you know, then I guess you know, we passed the halfway point now. Let's see kind of what these guys are thinking at this point, because I don't even think we were. That wasn't even aggressive at all, really. It wasn't anything aggressive about it at all. They were kind of in a ride and wait situation. We had kind of snuck right past the stage end, and it just I think it's just something that happened, unfortunately.
Well, while we're under discussion, what do you say we do a Doghouse nonstop and take a quick break?
I think that sounds great.
All right, we'll be right back.
All right, as we get ready to go green here, I want to give a shout out to Group 6, which is a sponsor for our next gen series. They're also supporting sponsors in our other series, so we really appreciate what they do for us. So rev up your brand's potential with Group 6 at every turn of the Doghouse racing season. As your creative marketing powerhouse, we're here to fuel your success, accelerate your impact, and steer your brand towards victory. Group 6, where every race is an opportunity to outshine and outperform. Discover more at group6inc.com. Again, thank you to our sponsors. Shoney's, huge sponsor in our league as well, the Shoney's of West Virginia. So, you know, make sure you visit your Shoney's. And we are back green.
With a new leader, Mark Dumont going to be taking the lead for the first time this evening.
Yeah, that's a comeback from Mark. He had some issues earlier. Got wrecked. Got Gary Clune down on the bottom trying to find his way back on the track here. Andrew St. Clair, seen him in the, you know, here rooting for Gary Clune and his driver. Unfortunately, it looks like he's not in the best of shape to finish, but so teammate Andrew St. Clair definitely pulling for his buddy here. So, yeah, we got Justin, that strong push, heading out, pushing Jonathan Jennings back out to the lead.
You got Shane Parrish in third behind him with Kevin Brown, and that top lane starting to really move now.
Yeah. Here's Shane. End of the race. It's time to go. Got a pretty big checkup at the back there. But it looks like they kept everything under control, so that's good. All right, looks like Shane's going to drop to the bottom here, and he's going to say, oh, Kevin Brown's going to go with him. We're going to see what kind of, look at Bill Gentry also down on the bottom, right behind his Loud Pedal Racing teammate, Kevin Brown, and then Shane Parrish in front of him. They're going to pull up side by side with Jonathan Jennings. Shane Parrish is getting pushed into the lead here by Kevin Brown. Really good pushes by the 33. The 4 staying just close enough to the 33's bumper to keep him attached there. Like, I wonder if Justin's run a little hot here. As you can see, he keeps poking that, like you said earlier, he's poking that front out in, just that grill out just a little bit, and then he's able to get back on the bumper of Jonathan, and when he does, he's really pushing him up there.
I'll tell you what I'm watching right now. It got me nervous. Is the 60 of Mike Leftwich and Mark Dumont. They are wiggling everywhere at the moment. They like they got it back straight now.
Yeah, it looks like, I know Dumont's truck hadn't been handling the best in this race, so it's kind of, we'll see how he does. Oh, we hadn't heard from Eric Anderson much tonight as he drops down to the bottom, fills that hole between the 14 and 4. And he said, okay, it's go time for me. I've played it safe enough, keeping it clean. All right, it's time to go.
Give a shout out to Eric Anderson for putting the league sponsor of Auto Pros on the back of his truck. See if I can get a good angle of it. Going here in the corner.
For Justin, truck is starting to get hot, so definitely he's gonna have to really take his runs back off, cool that truck down, and we're gonna expect that bottom lane's gonna start as hard as Kevin Brown's pushing. He's gonna start having the same issues here.
Yeah, it doesn't take long, especially when you get in your rhythm and if you're not paying attention to those gauges, it can get hot quick. Jonathan Jennings going to drop down to the bottom lane. That should help that 24 get some air on that nose and cool that truck down.
Yeah, that's what Jonathan told him. He did that to help Justin out there because yeah, Justin was going to burn up.
The 23 of Jonathan Smith's made a good rebound from the earlier incident he was involved in.
Yeah, that's good to see since, he's basically to be honest. He's everything. We got a wreck. The 00 into the 60. Looks like he might have had a little, I can't say a bad push, but we had a
see if we can see what happened. We apologize for the delay in the replays. This is a new system we're working out of the kinks.
Has drifted high there a little bit, and unfortunately I think the 56 just got him just a little bit on the inside. It was just a racing deal, and unfortunately for the 60, the 00 came across his nose. And I think that's pretty much what happened that time.
Yeah. Ooh. 00. Ross almost flipped.
Yeah.
So what do? Do you pit, take tires, or do you stay out? They last pitted on, well, looks like most of the field come down, so they'll be good on fuel from here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just listening to the drivers here. It's, wondering who's getting the EOL for that one, but, I mean,
Looks like the entire field's gonna come down. Oh, you're gonna have a few stay out.
yeah, get a few, the question is, where do you want to be? Or, I mean, that's the way I kind of play these myself is, am I far enough front to where, okay, it's time to go? I mean, we've got 25 laps to go. Is it time to be up there? Is it, how aggressive is it at the front? What's my chances of wrecking? Do I have that fast repair left? Or do I come on down? Tires are never a bad thing. Sometimes they're more beneficial than others. But do I just say, okay, let me stay in the back. I'm going to go ahead and take fresh tires. Make sure I got enough fuel for a green, white, checkered. And then I go ahead and, get back there and let's ride. And then hopefully avoid any wrecks that happen. But then, of course, there's problems with that. If it goes green to the end, sometimes it's hard to make your way back to the front.
Yeah, it's kind of like playing cat and mouse. I mean, it might work, it might not. So
Yeah, we still got 20 cars on the lead lap here, so that's not terrible, especially when we started with 25. Unfortunately, Kevin Powell had to bow out of the race, and that was all connection issues. He just, VR kept going black on him, and that just makes it very difficult to drive, of course, when you can't see. So fortunately, second connection issue of the week that he's had issues. So that's definitely not the way he wants to start his season. But again, some of these guys you got some of the guys like Christopher Simon. He would love to see another caution and be the lucky dog. I mean, he's only one lap down after his connection issue, so of course he's going to stay around. He hopes everybody pits in front of him so he can take a wave around. Otherwise, the good thing for him is he's now the only person on the lead lap, so he will get the lucky dog next time. I'm guessing he didn't get it that time, unless I'm wrong, but he should be pretty close to getting that lucky dog here soon.
yeah, he's still one lap down right now. And one thing I was just looking at, there is only 4 drivers in the field that have not had to take their fast repair. So if I'm out there, I'm going to want to take it easy for at least the next 10 to 15 laps, knowing I don't have a fast repair, and if I get caught up in something, that could be the end of my night now. So bringing us back to green is going to be the number 1 of Carson Burrows, followed by Steve Gerber in second, Paul Buchanan in third, Jonathan Jennings is going to be fourth, and Bill Gentry will round out your top 5. Now we talked to Steve earlier. He was concerned with not having drafting help, but he keeps finding himself in that first position. I think he's got a good shot at pulling it off tonight.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, right now, we're getting down to it. I mean, we're still a little ways out before I feel like it's going to get too crazy. If, I guess, saying that it hasn't been crazy yet. Again, I think we've had there was only, 1 or 2 wrecks we've had so far that I could say truly is because of just maybe a little bit of pushing the issue. But as we get further and further into this, I want to be out front. And, you see Gerber out front. So I think that's the place to be.
All right. Green flag's back out. Steve Gerber with a huge launch on that start. It's going to kind of be a sit and duck. It looks like the one of Carson Burrows is going to pull down behind him. And the outside lines are going to be Jonathan Jennings being pushed by the 4, Bill Gentry, followed by Eric Henderson, and they're making some good progress on that high side currently.
Give it another one, touch the ball back out. That was. Unfortunately, somebody kind of got into the wall a little bit.
Neck and neck when they come. Steve Gerber still going to be leading that inside lane with Jonathan Jennings on the outside.
Bill Gentry up in the 4th position here, pushing
Oh,
Jonathan
we got a
Jennings
wreck.
up. Yeah, we do for sure.
And it's showing, I think we're going to say green because Chad Waller was involved in that, and it's showing he was DQ'd from the race. So I don't know if that was from too many incident points.
Yeah, I got another wreck. And nobody's going to call a caution on that.
See, Justin Coons has the meatball flag, so it's going to have required repairs. Gonna go to Doghouse non-stop for a moment and take a quick break. Keep the action live for you.
All right, so we're back after the break here. We're getting ready to complete lap 57. Should be coming, I believe, 1 to green this time. So we're starting to get a little closer to the end. I mean, we've got we'll probably have about 16 laps to go or so when we take the green flag here. So we're getting to the spot to where it's going to be, these guys are really going to start pushing and see what happens at that point. Are we going to see some more wrecks? That's when you got these fast repair in your back pocket, you're a little more aggressive. If you don't, do you say, well, I do have a couple drop races this season, so I'm just going to go for it. So just depends. I'm starting to see some of the more veteran drivers like we've seen in the past come towards the front. Still a few new ones there, but we'll see what happens here. So this ought to be fun as we get ready to go back green here very shortly.
Yeah, and Daniel, I don't know if it's first race of the season. The last thing I want to do is drive over aggressive and make enemies this early in the season. So I'm kind of surprised to have seen some of the aggressive moves already.
Yeah, I am too. And again, we're seeing that from newer drivers that just, I don't think they kind of know the league yet. And I think some of these other guys, they race around each other. They know each other more. They know kind of what drivers tolerate and what they don't. So let's see. Seeing a lot of disconnects here over the last couple of minutes. I mean, we're getting, coming down to the end, and we've got, I think, 17 cars on the lead lap, or trucks on the lead lap, and Christopher Simon, after his disconnect, he's back on the lead lap. So good for him. He's overcome. That's one good thing about the cautions. You can overcome a connection issue or two. So let's see.
And he still has a fast repair in his pocket.
I tell you what, yeah, that's going to be vital right now. To go back to green again, want to give shout out to Auto Pros. If you're in Roxboro, North Carolina, look them up, give them a shout for your auto service needs.
Pace car pulls out hard left into the pits. We are back green.
Right, we got the number 1. I believe that's Carson Burrows, I believe, here on the top. And we got Gerber bottom, getting pushed by Paul Buchanan and Steve Parrish. We've got a couple veterans behind John Jennings with Bill Gentry and Chris Leftwich and Eric Anderson and Justin McMahon all lined up on that top side. Let's see what happens. See who's going to be the one to decide it's time to go 3 wide. And when is it time to go 3 wide? I think we've got a few laps left, but hey, I'm not the one driving.
Yeah, I mean, 17 laps to go. That's still a long time at this track. I would still be patient for a good while, especially if I'm positioned pretty good. And, even if you're at the back of this pack, you can make up ground pretty quickly in these trucks. They will suck up in the draft pretty well. So I'd probably ride back there and be safe for now. Unfortunately, we've seen tonight there's kind of nowhere safe, though.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's been a interesting race for sure. As sometimes you can you say at the front to me has definitely been the place where it's the safest, but mid pack has been pretty rough for everybody, and the back. So I guess let's see what happens here. You got Gerber, back out front. We know he's a good super speedway racer. We've got, I don't know a whole lot about Carson Burrows, but he's definitely in this race. Starting to see a few peaks to the outside. A few drivers are starting to get a little itchy. But still, like you said, we got 15 to go. Coming back to the line, I believe we'll be at 14 to go. So we got a little ways before we need to probably start looking at that, developing that third lane.
And Christopher Simon back here in the back looks like he's slowly starting to work his way up a little bit. I look for him to be at the front of this before this is over.
Yeah, and that's where it comes. You know, I've got that fast repair. I can put it to where some of these other guys don't want to put it, because if I wreck, I'm okay. But Christopher Simon, we know he's a very good driver. He does not wreck a lot on his own. He's not gonna be over aggressive. He's gonna play it safe, but when it comes to the end, I agree, he's gonna be there. That bottom lane seems to be, well, about the time I say the bottom lane was good, top lane shifts to the high side, Paris leading it, develop that gap right there between the 44 and 33, which is gonna, cause a little bit of time for that energy to get going again on the bottom. Now out front, Stephen Guanamo is right on his rear of his truck, and he's giving it some good pushes there as we go down the back stretch.
Yeah, and I like this move. I feel like the 9 and the 66 were working together on that move to the high lane, and it just seems like the high lane can't get formed up good enough to they can get even with the leader, but they don't seem like they can get fully past. And like I said earlier, I think it's everybody dives down to the bottom as soon as they get clear, and the high lane could really get going good if they just stay together. As we see Stephen Bonomo down to the bottom, going to take the lead.
Kevin Brown decided he don't want to stay back anymore. He said he's going to the front, and he can give a dang less what everybody thinks about it. Jonathan Jennings says, "Hey, good idea," and I'm going with it. Bill Gentry said as well, for the St. Paris, he kind of was him and Carson was left out in the cold there. And the number 1 came down and got into Justin. Too many people, too little space there for a second there, so we'll see.
Yeah, Bonomo tried to throw a block and wound up in the wall there.
Yeah, and he is
good wreck.
Yeah, no idea. It almost looked like that was some major net code to me, but I have to go back and look at it. He got loose, but it was weird where he got loose at.
See if we can get a good angle. Let's go to the blimp view here. It really started whenever he tried to throw the move to get in front of the 33. Threw a late block, got into the wall, running right across 33's nose. Shane Parrish was coming up to try to help. Yeah, it looked like netcode there with the, is that the 4? Hard to tell at that angle. We'll go inside of the Ford truck of Bill Gentry.
Yeah, that was netcode.
Yeah.
That end. I mean, that was probably one of the biggest netcodes I've seen. Not saying he had saved it and lost it and saved it and saved it several times, but that at the end was straight up looked like netcode to me. I can't tell if it came from the 4 or the 66 there, or maybe both, but neither one of them touched him, and he came right around. So that was strange.
And looked like Bonomo's still in the pits, so.
Yeah, and I think we've got several more drivers that's in some problems here with the with incidents. We've got Jonathan Smith, who's going to have to serve a black flag for incidents. And Gardner, he's got his, he's one away from having to do another drive-through. We've got Stephen Guanamo, Eric Anderson, Jeff Engel, Mike Leftwich is basically 1 4X away, or some of them 1X or 2X away from doing drive-throughs. So again, in this league, used to at these tracks, 17X and you're just DQ'd. Did something a little differently at super speedways and short tracks this year. As you get up to, and actually the other tracks as well, but this one's 25X, and you get a couple shots at it. 17X, you'll get a drive-through. 21X, drive-through. 25, you get the DQ. So again, it's tough that some of these guys not responsible for many of them X's, but I guess it's better than getting DQ'd. But again, it's that much more something else you got to think about as you go through the end of this race.
Yeah, and we're going to be coming to green with about 7 laps to go. The aggression's going to be high. You're probably going to be close to not picking up another incident point. So hopefully for these drivers, they can make it through without having to worry about it. The way the aggression's been, I don't know if we can get any more, Daniel, but 7 to go, I'm sure it's going to be high.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Looks like we're down to only 3 drivers that haven't used a fast repair tonight. So. Bonomo still in the pits. It looks like he is possibly going to be out for the night. I guess we'll see if he can get it repaired or if that's going to be the end of his night. As we're getting ready to go back green, we have Steve Gerber still leading the way, followed by Paul Buchanan. Kevin Brown in 3rd, and 4th currently is Jonathan Smith, but he's going to have to come through and do a pass-through when we go green. And 5th is going to be Adam Gardner. 6th will be Jonathan Jennings. 7th, Chris Leftwich. 8th, Bill Gentry. Carson Burrows in 9th. And Adam Wickel in 10th. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're about to get really busy up here. So
Yeah.
Let's get ready. We've got 7 laps to go. Or 6, what is it? Yeah, 7 laps when we come to the line.
We'll be coming at 7 to go. And do we even want to talk about a green-white checkered?
No, I don't. We got one. We only get one in this league, so we'll see. It's like the 8 got a nice jump there as he leads the field as we head into turn number 1.
Yeah. You're going to jump in front of Kevin Brown. He's trying to control both lanes, and Kevin Brown's one of the more aggressive drivers in the field. He's not going to let you come and block him too many times.
No, we'll probably see another wreck. He won't wreck you on purpose, but that doesn't mean he's not going to lift sometimes. So, again, he wants this win pretty bad, I know. So, we'll see. Right now, he's that top lane doesn't seem to be getting that momentum that it needs. But now there they are. As soon as I say one thing, something else happens. So yeah, it looks like Jonathan Jennings is going to drop down to the bottom and try to control that bottom lane. It looks like Kevin Brown has got Paul Buchanan pushing him as he's going to edge out into the lead. You got Bill Gentry right behind the 8, which is on Jonathan Jennings.
Top
And
lane's
we've
going to
got,
get a good run coming out of 4. So if you're Kevin Brown, do you dive down to the bottom if you cleared Jennings, or do you stay on the top side?
I don't know. You know, it seems to me, and I don't think it, I really don't know, because you've seen several times that that top lane gets a big enough push to get out in front and get in front of you. I think if you're out on the top, I think you just see where the energy's going. I mean, well, we got a wreck, and we got one upside down. We got Shane Parrish on top of Christopher Simon. Yeah, that's definitely a ride there that Shane took. Go back and see exactly what seemed to cause that issue there.
Like Christopher Lashfoot.
Yeah, just
God, you got 2 of them flipping.
yeah.
I think that was Ross too.
Yeah, Jason Ross as well. Yeah, it looks like Leftwich just pushed up the track. I don't think it was definitely. I don't even think he was really trying to side draft or anything. I mean, I think he just pushed up the track, and unfortunately, he was too far up the track. So, yeah. It's almost like he was thinking about, am I going to shoot the middle here? I think that's what he was wanting to do, honestly, but I don't want to speak for him. I'm not sure. So he was either trying to shoot the middle or was having trouble holding it down on the line. So either way, I mean, it was a wreck. We're coming down to the end. I can't really.
It looked like netcode again, didn't it? I mean, he slid up a little bit trying to dodge Ross. But it didn't look like him and Shane ever actually... Well, they might have made contact a little bit there. Looks like we may be going into that green light checker. And we're going to go ahead and take our final Doghouse non-stop. We'll be back in just a minute.
All right. So here we go with a green-white checkered here to end the race, unfortunately. Or fortunately, depends on how you look at it. You know, again, we've got Kevin Brown is going to start on the outside of Jonathan Jennings. Jonathan Jennings is the leader, so the start is on him. We need to restart. It's on. You've got Steve Gerber pushing Jonathan Jennings. You've got Paul Buchanan pushing the 33. So this is going to be it's going to be interesting here because, like I said, 2 laps to go. So we're going to see. Yeah, I don't
Yep.
know. You think we'll make it?
I'd like to say yes, but since we've had 9 cautions already tonight, I don't think so. I'm hoping so, though. There's going to be a lot of big moves I think you're going to see get made.
Unfortunately, the 23 has to do a drive-through penalty, and Mike Leftwich has to do a drive-through as well. So 2 drivers are not going to see the end just based on penalties, which is tough. Unfortunately, it's part of it. But I guess it's better than being DQ'd as it was before. But let's see. Let's see what happens here as we get ready to go green. We got Jonathan Jennings pulled out. Yeah, it looks like he's dragging. And we had a spinner, Stephen Wanamo, but he cleared out, so he cleared the track, so there'll be no caution.
If I'm
the
Steve
number
Gerber,
8.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I say, yeah, what you said. Steve Gerber seems to be getting a good push from Jonathan Jennings.
Yeah, and if I'm him, I'm going to push him out as far as I can, then I'm going to try to dart to the outside, and looks like Kevin Brown's going to get put in the sucker hole in the middle. They're going to leave him.
Yeah, if we can get to that, if we can get to the white flag, I don't think we are. We're not.
big wreck.
And there's a big wreck here, and it looks like Jonathan Jennings is going to take the win here.
I know he's going to be happy he finally got a win here at Daytona in the trucks, but probably not the way he wanted it. I'm sure he wanted to race it out for the end.
Yeah, he did. I'm sure Jonathan did. You know, again, he survived. Normally, you know, Jonathan's luck, he usually gets caught up in it here. So, but it's good for him. It's good, you know. Steve Gerber, I know, and Bill Gentry would have had love a chance, and Paul Buchanan to be able to race it out. So yeah, very interesting for sure.
Yeah, and see if we can maybe go back and see what happened. I believe it started up at the front. Let's see here. So Kevin Brown's in the middle, kind of trying to force it to a spot that wasn't there. And it looked like somebody might have come up and hit him also at the same time. See if we can get a better angle.
Yeah, look. Yeah, I really hate to see that happen, but it
Yeah.
is what it is. It's Daytona. I mean, the whole race has been a tough one. What do we wind up? 10 cautions, or was it 11?
So we ended up with 10 cautions for 28 laps with 25 lead changes.
Well, like I said, it was a good race when it was a race, right? You know, it is what it is. Daytona, we've had several races this week, I guess, with one caution and or two cautions, and unfortunately, some races it's just like this. Tonight a lot of the issues was just connection, losses. Other issues was maybe get a little aggressive, slight bad pushes here and there, but ultimately it's racing, and I hate it for sure. But we got, this is the start. Everybody has a drop race, so that's a good thing too. So I guess we want to wind up the. Do you want to go hit through the finishing order here shortly?
Yeah, so your winner is going to be Jonathan Jennings. Steve Gerber was able to hang on to the front position, or front pack rather, and come home in second. Bill Gentry with a good finish in third. Paul Buchanan in fourth. Christopher Leftwich finished in fifth. And how about Christopher Simon coming back to a sixth place position?
Yeah, Adam Weichel seventh. Kevin Brown after that late race spin there in eighth. Eric Anderson ninth. Carson Burrows 10th.
And 11th is going to be Brian Kramer. Shane Parrish is going to finish in 12th. 13th will be Mike Leftwich. 14th will be Adam Gardner. 15th, Jason Ross. And that'll round out all your drivers that finished on the lead lap.
Yep, and then unfortunately Jonathan Smith had to serve that late race penalty, which has caused him to drop back to 16th position. You had Justin McMahon in 17th. Mazel Flores was 2 laps down at 18th, and Guanamo Engel rounds out the top 20, and the others just a really rough night for these guys. So again, we move on next week, and hopefully it gets better. So again, everybody's got some drop races this season. I think we've got 3 of them of the 16. So let's see what happens. Like I said, just because you had a rough race this one doesn't mean you're not going to have a shot at the championship. So only your best 13 count.
Yes, sir. And
it's like we got our 3rd place finisher in the waiting room.
go ahead and pull him up and get a word with him.
Yeah, sounds good. Bill Gentry, copy?
Nah, I got you. Go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah, so looks like you had a pretty good race there. I mean, you was towards the front a lot. Seemed to have one of the least incident counts of the folks in the field. So what was your strategy this race? Was just trying to play it safe until the end?
Well, actually, Daniel, I put a lot into qualifying, and I ended up starting, I think, 4th tonight. And my plan was to kind of run around the front. I got involved in one of those early accidents, and thank goodness we have a fast repair in the truck league here. I got upside down across the grass on the front stretch. After that, I was going to kind of play it easy, and I stayed towards the back for a little while. But yeah, towards the end of the race, I was just let me see what I can do, and I just put it to the floor, and that's where I went.
That's good. I mean, really good way to start off the finish. A lot of these guys, they probably looking at a drop race to begin with from the year, but it's definitely good. I know to get a top 3 to start the season, man. I don't think you'll be too upset about leaving Daytona with that. What do you think about that finish?
Yeah, I'm real happy. I was talking to one of my teammates, Justin. I think he was a couple of laps down, and we talked on the radio, and he said he was going to try to get to me and give me some pushes and everything if I needed them. And unfortunately, he was unable to get up there to me. But I told him, I said, man, if I can come out here with a top 5, especially with my luck in these super speedway races, I was going to be just as happy as if I was to win the race and everything. They ended up going 3 wide behind us, and I was able to sneak in the third, so I was real happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Seen that. Go ahead, Jamie.
I was just gonna say, congratulations on your third, and it looked like whenever you and Justin would get hooked up together, y'all could make some good ground on that outside lane. It just seemed like the outside lane couldn't ever get formed up good enough tonight to be able to get the inside lane. Tell us about how that was.
Well, I tell you, these trucks, they've changed the aero package on them, and they are very wind sensitive. That outside line, you could see, was really having trouble staying kind of straight. If you got within a half a car width to the truck inside of it, you could really feel that truck kind of lift up in the back, and it gave it a handful to drive. So it was real interesting. So like I said, I'm surprised we didn't have more balled up than we did, to be honest with you, with the way these trucks were driving tonight.
Yeah. Well, next week we go to Atlanta, which is another drafting style track. Did you learn anything from here that you can take to there, or what you got for next week?
Well, I mean, these trucks, the way they've changed them around a little bit, you can pull up on the truck in front of you pretty good, and everything. It's just really managing that draft, and knowing when to make a move, and everything. So that's the big thing. It's just being patient and moving when you need to move, and kind of staying put when you need to just ride it out for a minute. So.
All right. Well, congratulations again on your third place. And before we let you go, you have any shout outs you want to give?
Well, of course, I got to give a shout out to Auto Pros at Deitz Transmission for being a sponsor on my truck, and everything. And sponsoring this race tonight. I'm glad I could put the car up on the podium for them. A bunch of great guys there do a lot of good work. I'm a privileged person to be able to work there with those good guys, and I want to say thank you to all my teammates and close teammates that we practice with throughout the week in all the different leagues we're in. I've learned a lot from just about everyone. Shout out to you and Daniel for y'all's admin work and the putting on the broadcast for us. I enjoy working with y'all weekly. So that's about all I have to say tonight, and I appreciate y'all for everything, and I hope everyone has a blessed night, and appreciate you for tuning in.
All righty, that's your third place finisher of Bill Gentry. Go ahead and bring up our second place, Steve Gerber. Steve, is Jamie and Daniel again in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you guys.
Well, you ended up coming out with second place. What more do you need to maybe get that going? I know the race was called a little bit short there with that last caution, but how you feel about it?
Right. I feel like I just needed somebody to push me on that run, and I just didn't have a lot of help there. So Jonathan was able to work his way in front of me, and I figured at that point, I figured I'd just push him as hard as I could and try to at least keep that second place spot. But they were coming pretty hard 3 wide, so it was, who knows what was going to happen. So kind of glad it ended when it did.
Yeah, it was definitely an eventful night to say the least. So next week we move on to Atlanta, a similar kind of track. You got anything that you can take from here to take to there for next week?
I don't know. I mean, they're similar but not similar. I mean, it's really different. A lot more off throttle there. A lot more strategy, I feel like. But I don't know. We'll see. It was a fun cup race to watch today. See all the maneuvering they were doing. But I know it's not going to be like that in the trucks. But it's definitely different than here. So.
Yes, sir.
All right, Steve. Well, got any shout outs you want to give before you let you go with your night?
Shout out to you guys for doing this, and you for throwing this league on all the time. And yeah, it should be fun to watch the broadcast. I haven't watched the new version of it with you guys, so I'll probably see what happened in this race. And appreciate you guys. Appreciate you putting this on. Shout out to my wife for putting up with this silliness. But all right, guys,
All right, appreciate it, man. Good.
All right.
Congrats on a good finish.
Thanks. I appreciate it. See ya.
Yes, sir. That's your second place finisher, Steve Gerber. And we'll bring up your winner, Jonathan Jennings. Jonathan, is Daniel and Jamie, can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, congratulations on getting the, I believe it's your first truck win at Daytona.
Whenever at Daytona.
Oh, well. Tell us about how it was tonight. It looked pretty wild.
Yeah, it was pretty wild, especially there at the end. I tried to stay up front away from all the chaos in the back, but I know a few people I could work with there and try to keep position. And the fuel situation at the beginning kind of was iffy because you don't know when the next caution's will come out, so you have to pop off and hope you can only make it on one more stop. But luckily everything fell into place. But it's tough to have that many cautions.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that Ben's going to be having a conversation after this race with some drivers.
Yeah,
Yeah, a few
pretty
things.
good. Yeah, for sure. Jonathan, I was just looking back at your stats, and I know we've talked before, and your super speedways are not you're not the biggest fan of them. At least your finishes on them, but looks like you've got a win at Talladega before in the trucks, and you've got some top fives at Daytona, but you never could get over that hump. So you feeling better now that we're going to Atlanta next week? You gonna be a little more confident going on that crazy track now that it's considered a super speedway?
Nah, I run good there. Like I run good at all of them, but like it's the chaos at the end that I usually can't avoid. But got lucky Thursday night and tonight, so I'll take what I get.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, for sure. And no, you did a great job tonight. You stayed at the front, seemed to stay out of trouble. Looked like I was watching Justin push you that time, and before he started having some heating issues, looked like he was one that was really able to get to your rear and give you a good push up there.
Yeah, choosing the lines and who was leading the line at the time was the key for me because I didn't want to be pushed by certain people. It's very little, some people I've worked with more, and others I trust, and others I have no idea. So
Yeah, there was some new faces in here tonight.
yeah, I would have stuck with the outside line, but I don't think the 33 would have stuck with me. He was driving like he was on a mission to checker the record, and that was not my mission.
Yeah, I think at some point you have to go in survival mode, but it seemed to work out for you for sure. So, well, congratulations, man, and look forward to seeing you the rest of the season here. Probably be up top in the points battle. So, any shout outs you want to give tonight?
But yeah, you guys for the broadcast. Everything's looking good. All the league sponsors, teammates, and I told Mike I would say this. Mike taught me how to run Daytona, so.
Yeah.
You might not never live that
Daytona.
one down.
So did this start Tuesday night? Was this Tuesday night when we became the expert?
Yeah. I can't say much about Chris because he finished good though. I'll give him that much.
That's awesome. No, we appreciate the whole Shoney's a great sponsor for the league, and no, we appreciate Mike and Chris too. They're, again, they've been members for a long time, and tell you what, Mike knows how to put down a qualifying lap. We can't deny him of that. So.
Yep, I can't figure that out.
For sure. Well, man, we'll let you go for your night, and we appreciate it. Congrats again, and we'll see you next week.
All right, man. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, Daniel. So that's gonna round out our evening at Daytona.
Yeah, I'm. I can't say I hate to see it come to the end, but I think a lot of drivers are really glad to see it come to an end. But now we go to Atlanta, and we're gonna see how that works out. But again, we want to give a shout out to all of our sponsors, from Auto Pros to Group 6 to Shoney's to even our, some of our associate sponsors of SSR Designs, our Gen 4 sponsor, Trackside NASCAR Outlet. Again, we couldn't do it without these guys. We appreciate it. And let's move on to Atlanta.
Yes,
And
sir.
we will, I guess it's time to wrap it up. So I guess, tune back in Thursday night on Doghouse Racing TV to check out the next Gen Cup Series at Atlanta. And then next Sunday night, the Truck Series back at Atlanta. Tuesday night is our next Doghouse Racing League event, which is going to be our Gen 4 series. It'll be live on Intensity Broadcasting. So for myself and Jamie and the rest of Doghouse Racing League, we wish you a good night, and we will see you next week.